Hi everybody, I'm Lori Pinhorn, social worker and holistic nutritionist.
Hi, I'm Lisa Pinhorn. I'm a pivotal response therapist, an adult educator, and an autism mom.
And we are the creators of Feeding Futures. And we are here today to talk about your picky eater. And you're going to leave this video today with one strategy, or maybe a couple, of some things you can do to help increase the variety of foods that your kid eats. Because, at Feeding Futures, we're concerned about the nutritional content of the food that your child is getting, because if you're watching this video, there's a chance that your kid is a picky eater and they're only eating like 5 or 10 things, and we know that the brain needs nutrition in order to operate optimally. So lots of times families know that they should be eating better foods, but it's just like, how are you going to do it because my kid is so picky.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
really, really challenging. It's hard to watch, really.
Yeah, so our families that we work with, their kids are legitimately like afraid of food. They don't like how it touches, they don't like how it feels in their hands, they don't like the smells of it, the tastes of it. And so how do you get past that block and that barrier is the stuff that we help people do.
Yeah, and I really think that soon we're going to approach this stuff a little differently than we have in the past, actually radically differently than we have in the past, because
Yes.
the sensory processing information that we're getting from mostly accounts of people who have grown up with this disorder their whole lives, and the sensory processing issues are legitimate and authentic. And when your world smells too much and the texture's too gooey and you gag at those kinds of things a lot,
Yeah.
you do get afraid of food. They actually are afraid of
Yes.
food, and they're afraid of the physiological reactions that they have to food. So you're right. They are afraid of food.
Yeah. So the thing that we use with families to help bridge, from fear to accepting a new food, we use play. And in the psychological world, if you had to go to a therapist because you were afraid of something, they'd be doing this process with you. It's a big scary word. It's
They
called
would.
systematic desensitization. So what does
Mhm.
that actually mean? It means breaking down this thing that you're afraid of into small pieces that you can tolerate it, and then you can be successful at that piece of exposure, and then you can move on to a bigger piece.
Mhm.
And systematic sensitization has been around for a really long time.
It has been, but
Yeah.
it's really challenging to do with people with developmental disabilities, because their reactions are often so strong, so fear based, so adrenaline pumping kind of fear, that
Yeah.
how do you do those exposures with people and not make the situation worse?
I know. And based on the research and how we know we can get kids past these things is to actually do the exposures. So some families who are watching this video know, and we all do this because we want our kids to be less anxious and be less afraid. So if your kid is afraid of bananas, sometimes what you do is just never bring any bananas in the house. Or you don't even go up the aisle in the store when their bananas are there. And what we call that in the psychology world is accommodation. And so when we accommodate, and you take the things out of your children's radius that they're afraid of, very little success happens in there.
Yes, and I would caution people, because when professionals say, "Now, mom or dad, stop accommodating," it's a very blame kind of base, like, "Oh my God, am I making this problem worse? Or how dare you? You don't know what it's like to live in my house, and how you don't know what it's like to have to deal with this kind of stuff." So when we talk about accommodating, we know that you're doing it to survive.
Exactly.
And you're doing it to make it so that your siblings who live in your house are going to have an okay world too, and because there's not one person who's flipping out because there's a banana on the table. What we want to do is make sure that we're going to do these exposures in a way that is so developmentally appropriate, meaning it's exactly where your child is developmentally. We're not just going to suddenly just bring bananas into the house and say, deal with it.
Yeah.
That's not how you get over it either.
That's not desensitizing things systematically. That's just saying cope with it. So
Exactly.
we use power of play in order to help people do that small breakdown. So that's the theory of the video for today. Lisa's going to give you one tip that you could do to help help with the exposure piece.
Okay, so we see the kids who are usually hypersensitive to things, means they don't like the way things taste, they don't like the way the way the things smell, they don't like how to how things feel in their hands and in their mouths. And how we start the desensitization with these kids is to let them play with it. And a really good trick is, all kids love to paint. That's part of it. That's the reason why there's a painting center in every daycare
Yes.
all across the world. So what you need to do is get yourself some paintbrushes, big, small, little, whatever, anything, things that you use in your kitchen with your pastries, whatever, and get some pudding. Different flavors of pudding. There's all different kinds when you think about it. Don't just stick to chocolate. There's butterscotch and there's vanillas and all that kind of stuff. Get some paper and let them paint. Stick it all out there on a Saturday. Don't even tell them that you're doing it. Just, it's
another part of what we're doing today to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, don't say, would you like to paint with some pudding today? Because he's going to say no, because he's probably afraid of the smells and the textures and stuff like that. So, if you set it up yourself and you just start doing it and you're having lots of fun, and let's make a snowman and we'll do it together, and ask your sister to join in, those kinds of things. Like, even you could paint with jam,
peanut butter, whipped cream.
Oh, yeah, whipped cream.
You could do all of that.
Yeah.
So that is our tip for today. Start playing with your food.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago people say, don't play with your food.
Yeah.
Well, we're here to tell you should play with your food.
You should play with your food.
So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, we want you to know about our workshop that we have coming up in the next couple of weeks. And it's going to be all about strategies of what you do to help your picky eater increase the variety of foods that they eat. So if you want some more information about that, then make contact with us. You'll probably see a link somewhere in this post, somewhere, or email that you can register for the workshop.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Hour and a half of not a whole lot of nerd stuff, a whole lot of real practical stuff. I say nerd stuff, I mean theory, big psychology words, but
less of me, more of her.
Lots of fun, and hopefully we'll see some people come out and we'll get some really good information.
Great. All right, we're excited. See you later. Have a great, happy, healthy week. Bye.